Thanks for downloading another episode of The Ugly Truth. Or if it's your first time, welcome. You are now an honorary UG, or Hug as we like to say. We really appreciate you listening and supporting the show through our Amazon and Avon links at uglytruth.com. And now, without further ado, The Ugly Truth. It's another uncensored look at the world around you from sisters who will say just about anything to anyone at any time. It's the Uggs. Jamie?
Enough already. We get it. You're happy.
Paula?
I mean, you know me. I'll talk to a tree.
Uncensored as always, it's time for The Ugly Truth.
Welcome to The Ugly Truth. It is episode 222. 222. Ugh. That was a tired Ugg for me. I'm kind of tired.
Oh, you're tired.
God, I can't. I'm trying to recover from this long weekend we had, and I cannot seem to bounce back. It's really irritating. It's weird when you go on a long vacation. It wasn't a long vacation, but it was a very extended weekend.
Yeah.
And we completely disengaged from everything. Like no phone calls, no emails, very little social media.
Except for my email. Hey, did Olivia leave her glasses at your house?
Yeah, we were sitting by the adult pool overlooking a vineyard view on a hilltop on these big, huge, round, like they're literally the size of like a queen size bed, but
wow.
they're like lounges. I mean, 3 to 4 people can be on one at one time, but it was just most people are just couples.
Yeah.
And there's like 20 pillows and it's super luxurious. And so we're sitting there drinking gin and tonics, and all of a sudden, ding! And I'm like, oh, I wonder what that is. I look, I'm like, Olivia's glasses. It was so funny. But I know what it's like to need something, especially with school starting. So I'm like, I'll ask Malia really quick. And she's like, no, she wasn't even wearing them. I said, okay, well, there you have it.
I completely forgot. And then I'm like, oh, shit, sorry, bye.
You're like, oh, shit, you're on your honeymoon. Not real. I mean, a second. It was kind of a second. I would say it felt honeymoonish, but we'll talk about it later. There's some highlights that you will absolutely love.
Oh, good.
But interestingly, when you're that relaxed and you come back, it's like culture shock. It's really weird. I cannot seem to get out of this mode. I don't want to go back. I was super ready to go home on Monday. I'm like, I'm ready to go. I felt like Miranda when they went on their honeymoon.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm rested. I'm sexually satisfied. I can't drink another drop of booze, and I cannot eat one more rich meal. Can we just go home? I miss my children. I want to go home. And he's like, I'm so sorry you feel that way. I'm like, don't be sorry. It's over. Can we just leave? I mean, and I feel like an asshole because Daryl's having a great time. And I did too. But when it's time for it to be over, it's time to be over, Right. It was a great little bubble of time, but I did the night before we left. I had a very weird dream, and it was super duper real. I dreamt for some reason, sometimes, I don't know about you, but I dream sometimes when I'm a kid again. But I'm not like a little kid. I'm like a teenager-y kid. And I had this dream that I was living with mom still. I was young enough that I was living with mom, but I had Sunny and Bodega. And I don't really know what house we were at, but it was raining hard. And It was so hard when I opened up the door to let Sunny in, because he's blind and he's old. And when, how dogs are dumb and they like sleep in the middle of the yard when it's pouring down rain.
Yeah.
Why do they do that?
I believe they can't actually feel the rain because it's their fur, but
that's possible. Or they're just trying to evoke sympathy to get in the house is what I always think.
It could be.
But I put human emotion. Don't we all put human emotions on animals? So I open up the sliding glass door and I'm like, Sunny, and he can't hear me because it's raining so hard. But finally he comes in, and I literally remember grabbing a towel that we have and drying him off. And then I look up and the ceiling is leaking.
Oh.
Mom comes in, she goes, oh man, what do you think it is? I go, well, I'd say that the roof needs repair, mother. I was being a total asshole about it. And then I woke up, but there was water. And so I was like, well, rain means something because it's got to be. And I looked and it says, to see and hear rain falling symbolizes forgiveness and grace. Falling rain is also a metaphor for tears, crying, and sadness.
Oh.
And it also means, it can also symbolize fertility and renewal. I didn't get wet from the rain, so that didn't mean anything. It's obviously, nothing severe. But I thought, well, maybe I just miss my dogs. I mean, maybe that's all it is.
Been. I don't know.
Anyway, but you were telling me that you had some weird dreams too?
Very weird. So I had a weird dream where I saw a bunch of cats.
Oh.
And I was at Mom's house. It was really weird.
Oh my God, how weird. You too?
I was in the backyard and
oh my God.
And I saw a bunch of kittens or cats. And I'm like, Mom, there's a bunch of kittens in the backyard. And then I noticed the ground was kind of raised. And so I lifted up like a flap of the lawn and there was more cats. But all I saw were their faces. I didn't see like their bodies, like they had burrowed themselves down there.
They were just, oh, okay, I see.
I was trying to free them. Like as I lifted more, they started running away. But there was just so many cats.
Oh my God. Did you look up what kitten means?
I can't remember what I saw. I remember there was something significant about a cat's face, though.
Okay, well, kittens, to see kittens versus cats is actually quite different.
Oh, okay.
So kittens says, in your dream, represents a transitional phase toward independence. You are ready to explore new things that life has to offer. It can alternately symbolize innocence and purity. You didn't kill a kitten, did you?
No.
Oh, okay, because that means something too. So I just wanted to make sure you didn't kill them.
No, I was freeing them.
Aww.
Maybe I'm exploring. I don't know what I'd be exploring. Well, maybe that would explain the other dream I had.
Yeah, because it even says that cats symbolize independent spirits, feminine sexuality, creativity, and power. I don't see any cat face.
Oh, well, I could have sworn it says if you saw a cat's face.
Yeah, I don't see anything like that. To dream that you are saving the life of a cat implies that you're reclaiming your independence and power. Okay, so I think we've made it clear. Cats and kittens are independents. That's interesting.
Maybe I'm claiming my independence, I guess. I always have dreams about that kind of stuff. Like I'm always feeling oppressed or something like that.
Well, that's something that you personally have to reflect on,
I guess.
What else? What was the other
dream? Take a bath on that.
What was the other dream?
Let's see. I had a dream that I was uncontrollably falling.
Oh, that's kind of common, isn't it? Isn't falling dreams?
But not like free falling.
Okay.
Like I was walking and then my body would just throw itself on the ground.
That is odd.
And Victor's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I can't help it. And so I was like walking and then I like flung myself into a closet.
Oh.
It was really weird. And
were you scared?
Yeah, because I'm like, I couldn't stop myself. Like it's like I had lost control of my functions.
This says to dream that you're falling and are frightened indicates a lack of control, insecurity, or lack of support in your waking life. You may be experiencing some major struggle or overwhelming problem. It may also imply you failed to achieve a goal that you set forth for yourself.
Yeah, that's my fat stomach.
Well,
before my reunion.
Yes, which we will be talking about. Well, you know what? I don't believe in the horoscopy, astrology-ish parts of dream interpretation, but I do believe that there are symbols in our dreams, which is why I always go to the Dream Mood Dictionary to see especially when I have very clearly I'm having a symbolic dream. I mean, having a dream about my dog obviously to me means I was probably ready to go home. But the rain and our mom, that's kind of a weird thing, Well,
yeah, maybe it meant like you forgive mom for, barging into your house all the time.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's always interesting because you think it's going to mean one thing and then you look it up, but it means nothing. Like I always thought seeing spiders was because I'm afraid of spiders, and it absolutely probably is because I'm afraid of spiders.
Yeah.
But if I have a dream about a spider in a different way, it always means sexuality of some kind. And so I always find it, yeah, it does. It's just super interesting to me how our brain does. But I've always felt that way about dreams. I always think dreams are some kind of strange path into your psyche. I know it sounds kind of weird and hippy dippy, but I do tend to find that I agree with a lot of the things that happen and it might be like, a lot of people feel like you can make a horoscope work for you every day. It doesn't mean it's real, but it's just on certain things, not everything. I'll read them like, shut up. This is not what this is.
If a dream comes out of nowhere, then I might kind of look into it. But if it's like synonymous with,
pretty much everything in your life,
something that's going on with my life. Like if I see a spider and it freaked me out and then I dream of a spider that night, obviously, I'm not going to think like, oh, what's going on, and think that,
it's
something,
sign.
It's symbolic somehow. I'm going to think like, oh, the tape rewound and played in my mind.
That's exactly how I feel about it as well. But sometimes, like seeing a shit ton of kittens under the lawn, I mean, that's weird. That's weird.
That was really weird.
Yeah, that's a really interesting one. But I remember one time I was really younger, I should say. I was probably 21, and I had a dream about bread and horses, and it was really weird. Well, bread represents Jesus. I had no idea.
Really?
Yeah, and it was like the whole room was full of it, and there was so much, and it was beautiful, and it was so weird.
Wow.
It was the weirdest thing, and I remember that's when I started going, maybe I should look, if I'm not going to go to therapy anymore, maybe I should look into this. So anyway, well, we take everything with a grain of salt, so it's something to put in the old purse and decide if we want to attribute it to anything.
Have you ever had like a sex dream with a celebrity?
Okay. I'm going to tell you this dream because it's so random. You know the movie Urban Cowboy?
Of course.
Okay. And the bad guy?
Oh, gross. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Just wait. Let me finish. Okay. So for some reason, I had a dream, and this was a while ago. It's been a while. I don't usually have celebrity sex dreams, but sometimes I do. It's always kissing. It's never actual sex. But yeah. But I always tend to, when I do, I always have sex dreams in their trailer. Like their work trailer, like where they go to get their costumes and stuff. So it's like it's on set. And so this one, it was in the bad guy's trailer. And I literally remember him throwing me down on his bed. And I literally woke up full on orgasming.
Oh my God.
I did. I was like, I guess the girl's equivalent of a wet dream or something. But I was like, why of all of the actors would it be that guy? He's like the bad guy in Grease. Like, why would I
know, and his face is all sketchy and everything. I can't
remember. Isn't he Bill in the Kill Bill movies?
I don't know.
But I think it is. I think it's oh God damn it. What, people are screaming. They're like, we know who it is.
It's so and so.
Good God, you don't even know? David Carradine. I think it's David Carradine. I don't remember.
Oh, is it? He's dead.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
What? David Carradine's dead? What? My sex dream?
They actually found him hung from an autoerotic.
What? Oh, he died in 2009 in Bangkok, Thailand?
Yeah.
A sex accident. Where the hell was I when this happened? Jeez. Oh, my God. Well, maybe. God, he was 72.
But that wasn't David Carradine.
David Carradine. Carradine.
That was the same guy, though.
I'm looking to see if he did Urban Cowboy.
You're talking about the wrong person.
I don't know who the bad guy is in Urban Cowboy. Whoever it is, he's the one. He's the one. Oh my God, that's so funny.
Well, I had a dream the other night. I had a dream that I kissed Dr. Terry Dubrow from the show.
Oh my God.
Botched.
That is so funny. It's Scott Glenn West.
There.
All right. Okay, Scott Glenn. He looks like David Carradine. Literally looks like him.
Dragged David Carradine's name through the mud.
Right. I had no idea he died of a sex.
Just letting him rest in peace, for crying out loud.
That's hilarious. Okay. Anyway, you had a dream that you kissed Dr. Dubrow.
Terry Dubrow.
Well, was it good at least? I mean, he has a nice body.
It was a wet kiss. And then he told me, so this is the weird part. We were working on like a project. Okay. I don't know what project it was.
Okay.
Some fictitious project.
Some new makeup line?
Not with me, but Yeah, we'll use you as the model.
It's like, we'll use you as the before.
Yeah, thanks.
No.
And he said, we're in different departments, so we could always see each other if you wanted. And I'm just like, I just don't know. And so like he was propositioning me, and then I woke up.
Oh, damn it.
But the weird part was, for half the day, I had his picture in my head, and I couldn't tell you who he was. I was just like, who are you?
What do you want with me?
I'm like, are you a real person or are you a celebrity? Why don't I know who this is? And then finally, like later in the day, I'm just like, Dr. Terry DeBro, that's who it is.
That is so funny. Isn't that weird? What they say that when you dream of celebrities, that they possess some kind of characteristics that you like and that you admire. That's what they usually say.
Well, he's cute. Yeah, I mean,
you know what?
And he's boisterous.
I know he probably has a curly hair thing going on. He just keeps his hair real short. And I don't like men with curly hair. I don't know why. Is that weird?
So you're not into Dr. Paul Nastiff then?
No. No. He's kind of gorilla-like. I just don't like the look of either one of those people. I would let them operate on me. Like, I would let them do work.
They're both fantastic surgeons.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't have any botched things, but I would definitely.
Because that's all they do now. They don't do regular operations.
Yeah, I mean, no, I have nothing. I have nothing botched. I would just need, I would just want certain plastic surgeries. But anyway, well, interesting. So very bizarre sex dreams and kittens and rain and all kinds of exciting things running through our brain. And that's not even the tip of our brain, by the way. That's just our subconscious on one day. That's not even regular.
That's just a fleeting thought.
Yes. God, can you imagine? I told Dara, I looked at him one day and I said, you would never want to be in my brain. Never. You would just never want to do it.
He probably agreed with you.
He did. He's like, you're probably right on that. I'm like, yeah. I mean, no one really wants to get into another human's brain. I can't even imagine. They talk about saying someday we'll be able to transfer our subconscious and all of our memories to some kind of computer. And I'm thinking, no one wants to see that. No one wants to be responsible for that. Trust me. I personally would rather just cease to exist. I don't want to be put somewhere where people can poke around in my strange weirdness for the rest of their lives. No thanks.
Well, I don't have many memories, and I kind of like to keep it that way.
There's a reason that I can't remember those things. I've blocked it out. Hey, Hugs, let's talk Avon. Yes, Avon. We at The Ugly Truth are happy to endorse their products because we use them and we love them. Check out our site for yourself. You'll always find free shipping on purchases of $40 or more. All you have to do is go to the Ugly Truth website, click on the Avon link, and you will be in the Ugly Truth Avon shop. I know you'll find something that you just can't live without. So check it out now. Thank you so much for supporting the Ugly Truth. All right. So like I told you, I want to tell you the parts of the anniversary weekend that I know that you will absolutely love.
Okay.
So we left on Friday and we went to the Napa Valley. And like I told you last week, Producer Dub and I are celebrating our 20th anniversary, which is a huge feat for us. We decided to go first class Napa for 4 days, 3 nights and 4 days. And so we stayed at the Carneros Inn, which is really, really nice. We got one of their really nice cottages. This cottage it looks like a little mini house. And the thing that we both laughed at when we walked in, first of all, it's beautiful. Hardwood floors, fireplace, beautiful, everything. We have a backyard that's incredibly private. No one can see in, you can't see out. Lots of beautiful shrubs and greenery. And then there's a beautiful outdoor love seat in front of a huge fire pit that's run by gas so that you don't have to light anything on fire. You just turn it on and there it is.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was really nice. And there was an outdoor bathtub as well.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's surrounded by bushes and beautiful things. Anyway, so I walked in and I said, man, they really want you to bathe here. There's a lot of bathing options. You go into the bathroom, which is beautiful, and there's a giant soaking tub for 2, and then there's the shower that's definitely meant for 2. It's got like 6 nozzles or 6 shower heads. You know, there's the handheld, and then there's when you turn it on, and then there's 3 that turn on at the same time, like a car wash. And then
that like shoots you at the side.
Yes. And then there's a door in the shower, and you open the door, and there's an outdoor shower. So you can literally shower outside, like for real shower. I mean, man, they really encourage cleanliness.
Well,
there's a lot of bathing.
Next to godliness.
Well, that, and it's like, you know, obviously this place is considered romantic, and it's, you know, the thing about water and sex is that they don't mix very well. Like, it's not a good lubricant. It's slippery. Someone's going to break a leg. You know, it's not.
Well, you know, in all the movies, it looks cool, but
yeah. But in reality, it's like, really, I don't really want to do that. I mean, we can try, but the second someone slips, I'm out. You know, you just don't want to do it anymore.
No.
But of course, and Daryl was like, I'm showering outside immediately. So when you know, the next morning, he's like, I'm taking a shower outside. I'm like, okay.
I'd be all about the tub outside. I'd do it.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you about that. So, you know, it was great. It was romantic. We had a private tasting at our favorite winery, and we had caviar for the first time. I've never had caviar.
How is it?
It's good. I would not choose it over other things, but it's not offensive by any means. It's very salty, very super light and delicate. And just a little bit of a fish taste, like a salmon taste.
Okay.
But you can add dill and creme fraiche, and they give you all these options on how to eat it. And then you get the little ivory spoon. I've never had caviar. I mean, I knew how to eat it, but I'd never actually tasted it. And so this stuff was pretty good. It's like $50 an ounce.
Whoa.
So it's not crap. Thank goodness. It's not it's not fish bait.
What is this gelatinous muck?
Caviar should be round and just burst at the proper moment. Yeah.
God.
And of course I said that because I had to. I didn't say the gelatinous muck part, but the other part. But yeah, so the room was beautiful. You would be like, wow, this is so pretty. I mean, I did. It was amazing. So we ordered room service, and the food was fabulous. And so everything was great. The weekend progressed. We had amazing dinners. Now, we went to this place called the Goose and Gander. It's in St. Helena. It's pseudo casual, but it's very well known just for being an amazing culinary experience. So you don't have to go in. You can wear literally jeans or whatever, but it's one of those trendy, cool places. So I had this really pretty dress that I bought a while ago that I haven't had a chance to wear because the boobs were too tight. Mm-hmm. Well, now it fits really good. And so I'm like, oh, I'm wearing it. Now it is incredibly low cut, very low cut, but I can wear a bra, and I was super locked and loaded. My boobs weren't going to pop out or anything. It was like this really heavy, like this real deep V-neck. And the V-neck was like down to like, literally, if I wasn't wearing a bra, it's below my boob line. It's really low.
Oh. It
looks amazing on. And I would never, you know me, I am not a slutty girl. I'm not a big fan of, you know, and then my bosoms will just pop out. You know, that's not who I am.
It was fashionable and tasteful, I guess.
But very sexy because yes. I have big boobs. So
sure.
It is what it is. So, you know, when models wear those, nobody even thinks twice about the boobs because there aren't any. So walk in, everything's great. We sat down, and we have an amazing, wonderful waiter. The sommelier comes over. Daryl, when he scheduled the reservation, he said, you know, is this a special occasion? He goes, yeah, anniversary. And so we got free champagne. We got a dessert. Our names were printed on the menu. I mean, it was like really fun. So we're having a great time. And then suddenly I look over because I notice someone's looking at me. And there's these 2 couples sitting like 3 or 4 tables away in a booth near the kitchen because the kitchen's open, you can see everything, and they are just going on and on about my dress. And I'm looking at them. They're our mother's age, by the way. There were a ton of people in that restaurant, all about our age or younger. Didn't even give me a second look. No one did. Now, our waiter was really a gentleman because where he was standing, I'm sure it was quite a show.
Right. Because
the dress was low, but he was just avoiding it completely, looking at me in the face and mostly talking to Daryl. But I am not going to be ashamed. I'm not going to do it. Someday I'll be old and I will not be able to do this. So I'm doing it. So these women are looking, and now their husbands are looking over, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? I'm like, this is not obscene. It's not ridiculous. So, of course, I start feeling self-conscious because anybody would. And then I'm like, you know what? Fuck these old dried up bitches. So I start staring back and I don't break my gaze at all.
Good.
Both of the women are looking at me back and now they're like, oh my God, she's looking at us. Like, and her husbands are laughing. And I'm just looking at them all, and I finally I folded my hands, and I put them under my chin, and I just cocked my head, and I just stared. And Daryl's like, what's happening right now? Because he knew they were looking at me, but and saying things about clearly my cleavage. And I'm like, oh, nothing. I'm just waiting for these old bitches to come over here so I can knock them out. And he's like, what? And I said, oh, yeah, bring it on. Because I know that I'm not popping out. I'm, fully covered. And it's just a very low dress for a very casual place, but I don't give a shit. And so finally they started hiding their faces and they literally shuffled out. And I said, I was like, please come over here. Please come over here so I can find out how the home let you out without your medication.
Right.
I mean, honestly. So they came out, they were shuffling out. It was her 65th birthday. They sang happy birthday to them. I'm like, oh, this just is getting better. But they were ashamed by the time they left. They literally grabbed their hair and covered their face when they walked out. It was amazingly cool. But I was like, how dare you? How dare you judge anybody, you bitches? I was so mad. I don't know.
I mean, people should just live and let live,
I know.
It's just, so what if they didn't like your dress? They didn't have to, look at it. They
did not
mind
like
their own
it.
Business.
They were fucking jealous.
Well, good.
Anyway, I go, did I have a weird look on my face? He goes, well, you had a look like, please come over here. And I'm like, I'm sure I did. I was mad because I'm like, you're not going to make me feel like shit on my anniversary weekend, you assholes. Who the fuck do you think you are? I was mad. And so I got over it. They left in shame, which is really all anyone can ever ask of. I mean, publicly shaming someone. They couldn't shame me and I shamed them. And I'm like, I win.
Right.
I win. So anyway, it was really funny.
Good.
I mean, not really, but you know what I mean.
No, good.
The other thing was the night before we were going to leave, so Sunday night, we had come back from a dinner and Daryl's like, well, we have to take a bath in this tub. And I said, all right, I'll do it. Fine. It'll be fun. Why not? So I said, just, let's take the cover off and we'll see what we're, looking at because it's outside. And so he opens up and he laughs. And I go, what is it? He goes, well, there's something in the tub. I'm like, is it a spider? He goes, no. And I go, well, what is it? He goes, well, do you want to see it? I'm like, well, yeah. So I go out there and there's a little frog in it. A little frog, like one of those, those little ones that you see around here. Well, one that jumped on you last summer. Yeah, that size. And I go, okay, well, let's get it out and we'll just rinse the tub out, because they pee and stuff. So we'll just rinse it out and then it'll be fine. He goes, okay. So he gets the frog out. He rinses it out. Well, he puts in too much hot water because it's really cold at night, and he thought that it wouldn't be so bad. So he's filling up the tub and he goes, we can't get in. It's way too hot. And I feel like, oh yeah, you're right. So I said, well, we'll just add cold water. And it'll just be a little too high, but when we'll get in, it'll spill over. It'll be fine. So I turn on the hot water and I'm trying to mix it around because I can tolerate heat more than he can. So I'm mixing it around. I turn off the cold water, and sure as shit, that frog jumped back in, or or there was another one that came through one of the drains because it was really high. Yeah, came through the drain and immediately died in the water.
Oh my God, because it was so hot.
Because it was so hot, it fried him immediately. I go, something just fell in the pool. I'm like, oh my God, it's a frog. And he goes, what? I go, there's a dead frog in the water. And he's like, what are you saying? That thing was stretched out like it was doing jumping jacks.
Oh my God.
It was horrifying. I said, he goes, all right, well, I think this ship has sailed. I go, I'm not getting in that
tub.
We're
done with the tub.
What if there are other frogs? I'm like, I'm not doing that. He goes, you would break your leg trying to get out of this thing if another frog jumped in and died. I'm like, I can't do it.
There would be another frog.
Of course there would be another frog. 2 already. So I said, all right, well, we got to get it out so we can drain the water because I'm not letting it stay in there. So I go and I get a coffee mug. And I sit here, and so he scoops out the frog, and then I undo the drain, and we let the water drain. And so ultimately, he said that some of the pipes were actually open, and so the frogs were in the pipe probably. And when we turned on the water, they started leaping out because it was so hot. And I said, awesome. Well, that's not something that we're going to experience. So we're fine with it.
That's gross.
Yeah, I know, right? And so the next morning he goes, the frog is gone. I go, well, the frog got eaten by whatever weird critters are out here at night. We're in the middle of nowhere, literally on the top of a hill in the vineyards. It's gone. I'm sure something ate it.
Yeah.
And so the big finale of the weekend is we went hot air ballooning.
Yes.
Now, we had to be at the facility, which is about 8 miles away. We had to be there by 5:35. And it adjusts because sometimes it's all about the wind. And so if it's too windy, they'll cancel.
Okay.
You know, there's a second location that they can take you to if the marine layer in fog is too thick. It's very volatile because they don't take any risks at all. And so we get there. There's a lot of people. Like, we were really surprised. We thought because it was Monday that it would be kind of a small crowd, but they filled 5 balloons.
Wow.
We had the most veteran of the pilots, which was great. And we get it. And now you have to climb into the basket. There's like a little ladder that's built into the basket. And so you've got to it's like mounting a horse.
Oh, okay.
So and it was funny because there was a couple of girls there who were in another balloon. They wore dresses and heels. So that was really interesting to watch them try to climb into a basket.
Good for them.
Right? I was like, first of all, how do you get dressed up at 5 o'clock in the morning and look like that? I looked wrecked. I was so tired. I didn't even put hardly any makeup on or anything. I'm like, I'm not. I mean, I'm glad for the experience, but I'm not getting up at 4 a.m. to look fabulous. There is no freaking way.
I'd be getting dressed up, but then I'd be going back and taking a nap.
Right? So we get in the basket and it's so smooth. You don't even realize you're taking off. Like it's almost like you don't feel any turbulence. Any movement is from people just shifting in the basket, which is not comfortable, by the way. So if somebody's getting a little too rigorous with moving back and forth, you're like, hey, simmer down. There'll be none of this.
Yeah,
it's like
really.
being in a gondola and someone kind of swinging it around because they're moving. That's kind of what it was like. But the views were amazing. The people were super friendly, and I never thought I would ever do a hot air balloon ride in my life, and it was so worth it. I had a lot of people message me going, I'm so afraid of doing that, but it looks so amazing. I can't believe the photos. And I said, you should do it. Just do it. It's not, but if you're afraid of heights, then you probably can't do it, because I had no problem looking all the way down. And of course, I'm looking down going, well, if I fell now, I'd die pretty quick, which would be nice because then I wouldn't have to worry about, anything.
I'm terrified of heights.
I know. And I have some photos. I haven't posted them because they were on my camera, but it was pretty amazing. And Daryl, of course, he loved it too, luckily. So
well, that's good.
Yeah, it was really fun. But I forgot to tell you, when we were leaving in the morning from the little yurt, he decided to make me coffee. And so he made me coffee really quick because there's a little espresso machine in our little cottage.
Yeah.
So we get back after the balloon ride, and I look at the mug and I look at him and I said, is this the frog mug, or did you get me a new mug when you decided to make me coffee this morning? He goes, I don't know. And I go, what do you mean you don't know? Is this or is this not the mug that you used to get the corpse frog out of the tub? And he's like, I don't remember. And I'm like, God damn it, this is the frog mug. I knew it. You know what? And it crossed my mind this morning that maybe this was the frog mug, because you're not very detail oriented. But now that I am looking and seeing that the clean mug is still on the tray, this is in fact the frog mug. You gave me frog coffee this morning. And he's like,
frog coffee.
He's like, the frog didn't, I used it to literally scoop the water in which the frog was in. It was like a wave. It didn't even touch. And I go, you don't know that. You have no idea what this frog did.
What kind of disease was on?
I go, have you any idea? He goes, people eat frogs all the time. I'm like, well, I don't. Especially pipe garden bathtub frogs. I don't know where this thing's been or what it's been doing. And now its secretions could potentially be in my stomach. Thanks a lot.
God.
It was really funny, but it was the frog mug.
Oh, well, what are you going to do?
I don't know. I was a little nauseous at the thought.
Get a little extra protein in your
right
coffee.
I know, but All's well that ends well. It was a wonderful weekend, but I told him, I said, I can't drink one more glass of wine. I mean, I really just can't do it. It's just too much. I couldn't wait to get home. I was like, when it was time to be done, I was like, I just want to eat a salad and drink lots of water and just not ever do this again. I mean, for a long time. I've had my fill. But the weekend was romantic, and, you know, we did a lot of mushy, romantic-y things. In fact, we did something and said something, and I said, do you know if my sister heard us, she'd be like, you guys make me sick. Shut the hell up. Seriously, I'm over it. Enough already. We get it. You're happy. Enough.
That's why it's best that it stays private.
Exactly.
Between the two of you in, you know, a silent, remote area.
And we really did the world a favor, let me tell you. We did the world a favor.
That's good.
Speaking of doing the world a favor, you're getting ready and geared up to go to your high school reunion. Is this the 20th?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
I was previously mistaken because I thought that my reunion was September 22nd. And I remember saying to myself, like, oh, crap, because we're going to Disneyland.
I know.
On like the middle of the month. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to come back and I'm going to be all fat because, you know, we'll have been eating poorly and, you know, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I do have some extra pounds, like a good extra 10 pounds right now, just from moving because...
Oh, because you guys had to eat takeout and stuff.
Well, I checked my reunion. They've been sending out like newsletters and things like that to everybody. And it said, so don't forget, we'll see everybody on the 2nd at 7. And I'm like, the 2nd? And I'm just like, whoa. That's not a lot of time. I'm like, that's less than a month away. And so I'm like, what am I going to do? And so I posted on Facebook the other day. I'm like, you know, saying like, oh, I mixed up the dates of my reunion. And I'm like, you know, Operation Starvation commence.
Then you get a lot of helpful tips, right?
I got tips. I got flack. I got, you look great already. You know, and then I got Stephanie saying, well, you might try those diet pills. And then
I saw that. Amphetamines, I'm just saying.
In a pinch. And
amphetamines in a pinch. Just a little cocaine will get you there, honey.
I really didn't post it to get feedback. I was just lamenting, like, oh my God, my reunion's coming up.
Can't you all just empathize with me and let it go? This is just one of my like Twitter like statements, not asking for support.
Right. I was just like, you know, throwing it out there. I got to get skinny.
When I read that, I was like, oh shit. Because I know exactly what that feels like. I don't do reunions personally. I'm not a fan of them, but my doctor's appointment is coming up in about a month and a half, and I have to get down to fighting. I always feel like Ronda Rousey right before a fight. It's like, I got to cut weight, man. Got to cut weight.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, how did they cut weight? And I'm like, what do I need to do?
You need to get one of those sweatsuits. You know, those suits that are made of plastic?
Right.
Walk around in that for a little bit. Get into the sauna. Although I will say, in all honesty, if you truly want to drop some pounds so the dress fits better, I've heard that those herbal wraps work wonders. Now, it's not permanent. It's temporary, but it lasts for like a weekend. So it's like, if you have to do, you know, you can do it on a Friday, do the reunion, do the next day family picnic crap that they make you do if you want. And then at least for those 2 days, you look stunning because everything fits great because you've lost all the bloating, water weight and all that stuff. Right. But usually like within a week it starts to come back. It's not a permanent weight loss. It's more of you're just eliminating all your water weight so that you're not bloated, which is, you know, that's definitely something I would do.
That is an idea, but those are kind of expensive.
Are they? I didn't think they were that much.
I thought they were like $150, but
you know what?
I mean,
that sounds
to me,
about right,
that's
actually.
a lot.
No, that's a lot. That's a lot, especially if you're not going to look for your old, you know, high school boyfriend or something. It would be one thing if the one that thinks, you know, he lost his love because he broke up with you. You want to look as stunning as humanly possible. But that's not your situation.
My situation is I'm just not comfortable with the weight that I am.
Yeah.
And so I'm just, you know, or the shape of my body. I feel like I look pregnant all the time.
Oh,
and
I know.
so I You know, my legs are fine. My arms are fine.
You got good boobs.
My boobs are fine.
Yep.
It's just my stomach. That's the only problem that I have.
And, you know, sometimes Spanx just isn't enough.
Which I've ordered a new waist trainer thing.
Yes.
That, you know, will suck it all in.
You'll look good.
So I've put myself on a 1,200 calorie diet a day.
Yeah.
And then I also got an exercise ball. So I've been doing sit-ups. And so
I hope it works. I really do.
I do too.
I'm not surprised you're going because you're quite you like to be quite social and you like to see people face like you. And when you are in the mood, you love to interact with others. Like you really do enjoy it. It's not that I don't, but I just, there's so much crap that, you know, there's so much fake when it comes to reunions sometimes. You know, everybody's there looking perfect and, you know, hiding all of their baggage from 20 years of life, which everybody has. Everybody has it.
Yeah.
And then you add alcohol. And by the end of the evening, some poor choices can be made. Some truths that aren't pleasant may come out, you know.
Jeez.
All the people that I really liked in high school, I talk to regularly. The people that go to the reunions are people that I would rather never, ever see again. If I don't talk to you in real life and the only time I'm ever going to see your ugly face is in a reunion, I ain't interested.
Well, yes, I guess that is one way to look at it.
Well, that's the way I look at it. I'm unusual. A lot of people aren't like that. And there's, you know, Casa, our high school has some great reunion options. Like they do annual multi-class reunions like every August, but it always lands on our anniversary, so I can never go. But so there are people that were in classes older than mine, like 86, 87. I would absolutely, I know those guys or girls and I like them and I would definitely go do that, but it's always our anniversary. So of course I'm gonna be like, Daryl, I'm gonna go to this bar.
Oh, right.
See ya. You know, it's not gonna work. But that's okay.
Well, I know that some of my classmates listen to the show.
Yeah.
So I think it would be fun just to, you know, say hi to them. And
yeah, well, I mean, I think it just depends on your attitude going into it. I think that's the big thing. That's the main thing.
I mean, you know me, I'll talk to a tree. So, I mean.
Yeah. I think you're going to have fun. I can't wait to hear about it. And I hope
I think it's going to be great.
All of your shenanigans to drop some pounds to make you feel put together works, because
we'll try.
I mean, honestly, I think you're beautiful, but I know the struggle. It's real. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can always, you can always lose more weight as far as anyone's concerned. Not you personally, but everybody thinks that. Maybe there's a couple people in the world who think I'm perfect, but not me. I'm always struggling to keep it real. Right.
Yeah.
You can always wear black. And you can borrow my low cleavage
that's
dress.
The next struggle is what am I gonna wear?
Well, I mean, actually
have to go shopping. I have to get the kids in school first, and then I'll address that situation.
Right. I'm excited, and if you need any opinions on what to wear, obviously ask.
Yes, I will.
Show me.
Well, I'm taking Victor with me, and he's going to be in his full dress army uniform.
Why are you doing that? You're making why are you making him do that?
Because it makes for a good talking piece.
I see. So you don't have to talk about anything else.
So, you know, if people...
Be a bunch of thank you for your service.
Yeah, and so that way everyone's, you know, it's a deflection.
All right, well, let's do our ugly and awkward moment of the week. Do you have one?
I don't.
All right, so we're going retro.
Well,
again?
actually, I do.
Okay.
So as you know, because you're babysitting for us,
I am.
This Friday, Victor and I are going to see Huey Lewis and the News, and we're very excited.
Yes.
I know, real hardcore band.
Actually, no. You know what? Here's the deal. He's very popular, and their band is great. Daryl's brother loves Huey Lewis, and he wanted us to go to this show on Friday.
Oh, really?
Yes. Now, I'm so non-committal. I'm like, well, that sounds like an interesting event. You know, that sounds like something we could potentially do. But I just was like, whatever. You know, I mean, live music is fun, really, no matter what it is for the most part. So Brad texted Daryl and said, he goes, $100 for a bleacher seat? Huey Lewis is tripping. We're not going. It's ridiculously expensive. And I was like, oh, well, good, because I can't go anyway because I'm watching the children. So, it's okay. So I'm glad we didn't buy tickets because that would have sucked.
Well, so we ended up, when we moved, somehow, and I don't know how, and I don't know, and this is just inevitable for Victor, but we lost the tickets. And so we searched high and low, high and low, high and low. We could not find the tickets. So I'm just like, well, what are we going to do? And we had actually hard tickets. We didn't have like the printout tickets where you just like, take your phone and have them scan your phone or something like that.
Right.
I had the old-fashioned tickets because I thought it would be fun.
Lesson learned.
Dummy me.
Yeah.
So I called Ticketmaster, and I'm just like, well, so here's the situation. What do I do?
Right.
They're just like, well, we can have them for you at will call if you want to go get them there. Oh, that would be great. So
yeah.
Fortunately, we get to go get him at will call on Friday before the concert. But
well, that's good.
Lame, ugly, and awkward moment. But
yeah, but still, it figures of all things. You decide to do something retro, and it bites you in the ass.
But the thing is that it's more of an ugly and awkward moment for Victor, and this is why. Because I can't tell you how many gifts I've purchased for him that have been lost or broken or stolen.
How convenient.
And it just goes to show that I'm just like, why is it every time I buy you something, you lose it? Or, I'm just like, I don't even want to buy him a gift anymore.
Don't. Get him the card. Be done with it. It's like the gift is I'm here with you and I love you.
Right.
My love is your gift. Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you what I got for my anniversary.
No,
I got a gift. I got jewelry.
Oh, what you get?
Okay, so I absolutely love J-Lo and Jessica Simpson both have the diamond hoops, the ghetto hoops.
Yeah.
And obviously J-Lo's specifically, those are real diamond. I mean, those are $10,000 earrings. I mean, they're amazing looking, and they're huge because I like the big hoops, and I wear big hoops pretty much every day. So in reality, no one can really afford those, and they're usually custom. So those don't actually exist in any kind of, even a high-end jewelry store. You can't buy those. But he went to our favorite jewelry store, and they have diamond hoops, but they don't look like that. They're hoops. And so he got those for me, and they were not $10,000 diamond hoops, but they're diamond earrings essentially. Yeah. And they're beautiful. I wore them all weekend. I'm wearing them right now actually, because I love them. I mean, I love the big hoop, but these are probably like medium hoops. Yeah. But they're beautiful. And you can't go wrong with diamond earrings. Ever.
No.
Ever. And I'll show them to you on Friday because they're so lovely. And it was such a sweet gift. I kept trying to interrogate. I'm like, so is it the Valentino bag that I've been wanting for like 2 years? He's like, I'm not going to tell you. I'm like, well, just tell me if it is, and I won't pack an extra purse because then I'll use that all weekend. He's like, all right, fine. It's not the Valentino bag. I'm like, why isn't it the Valentino bag?
Yeah, really?
Like, I want that. And he's like, no. And I'm like, all right, fine. And so, but you can't go wrong with jewelry. So
yeah, no, that's
very, very
great.
nice.
I can't wait to see them.
Yeah, you'll like them. They're very, they're not they're understated so that you can wear them whenever you want, and people won't go, why are you wearing diamond earrings to Target? They're nice. They're really, really lovely. They're very, very sweet. Love
classy.
them. They're classy. Yes, they're exactly.
They're not the fake kind. They're like
it
the
ain't
real
fake.
kind.
Oh God, my son is sending me a photo of his head. He says he's going bald.
Well,
I know it's possible. I get it.
Okay, oh, well, son. His father. Yeah.
We'll figure something out. I can't have my son bald. Well, I mean, it is what it is, but maybe that's why he keeps his hair so long. I don't know.
Oh, he's pulling a...
No, yeah. His dad is bald, so...
But, I mean, is it in the front? Or
yeah,
is it...
Yeah, it is. It is. It's thinning. But it could be, he dyes his own hair. It could be nutrition. It could be who knows? It could be a lot of things. So he's making an appointment with his hairstylist, and they will discuss it. There are methods now. I mean, men are so self-conscious about their dicks and their hair. I mean, there's all kinds of products now that work, right?
Yeah, really, that's true.
So, I mean, and he's so young, I'm sure that something will work.
Well, by the time you and Alan were dating, he was already thinning.
Major thin. So, yeah, he's like, I'm going bald. And I'm like, no, you're not. And then he showed me a picture of his head. I'm like, okay. I'm like, this could be many things. Let's not overreact. Let's just not overreact.
And I'm sure his little mug is just like,
oh my God, he's so unhappy. He's got that little face he makes when he's miserable.
Yes.
Like, all right, let's just calm down.
For heaven's sakes.
Luckily,
is he at work?
Yes. He's at work. So, he's sitting, it looks like he's in a bathroom.
Of course he is.
He's like, look at this. Just look at it.
It's ruining his day.
Poor thing. Oh, I feel bad. I don't think he's balding, but it could be thinning. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say. He's in his early 20s, for God's sake. I wonder if he's gray too. I should ask him. Anyway, maybe he's just got to stop trying to take things into his own hands and let his stylist handle his hair for a change. For God's sake. I'm sure there's options, right? There's got to be options for people who are balding.
Well, what does he use to wash his hair? Bar soap?
I don't know. I have no idea, but I don't really think that products have anything to do with losing hair. I mean, maybe stress can do it. Who knows? He's such a highly stressful, emotional person,
It's true.
We'll see.
Maybe the hair is just jumping ship.
It's like, I'm out of here.
It's too stressful of an environment.
It's like, I don't want pert any longer. I'm on my way.
God.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll research the shit out of it and say, okay, there's this product you can use. It will work.
Well, I think they sell the regrowth shampoo right at Target or something like that.
I don't know if does it work? I don't even know if that kind of stuff works for real, or if it's just a placebo to make you feel like it's working.
Well, just message Neil and ask him.
I am. Well, he's gonna go see Greg, who's his stylist, and he will advise him accordingly. I was kind of hoping he'd have Dad's hair, or the Campos hair. It might be thin, but it's full. There's a lot of it, so
yeah.
Hopefully. Oh well, here's my ugly and awkward moment, by the way.
Oh yes.
I forgot. Okay, so obviously it was in Napa.
Okay.
Now when I say that this resort is high end, by the second day, I was irritated at turn down service. I had turned into a diva princess almost immediately because every possible whim that you have is taken care of before you can even say thank you. It's so fast. So they do turn down service at exactly 6:40 p.m. every single night. And what turn down service is they take all the decorative pillows off. They put the clicker and a box of chocolates on your pillow every night. They empty your garbage. I mean, everything. So Daryl and I are watching television because we had just gotten back or we were getting ready to go to dinner. And suddenly I see a woman at the door with 2 bottles of water and everything like that. I'm like, oh my God, turn down service, really? And I'm like, I'm complaining about first class service now. It was hilarious to me.
Really?
I know, but that's not it. But it was just it was funny how quickly we can accommodate, high class service and then suddenly find it an irritant, which I thought was a funny thing about myself. So it's 4:35 a.m. We're sleeping and I hear jiggling at the front door. And I woke up, I'm like, what the fuck is that? And he goes, I don't know. I go, did you hear it? And he said, yes, I heard it. I'm like, well, go see what it is. He goes, well, so he goes out there, but he looks through the blinds. He goes, well, there's nothing out there, but I do see like a brake light from like the security guard car that's right in the road. I'm like, well, what if there's been an incident? What if someone's trying to prowl around? I'm like, figure it out. So I make him get up, put on the spa robe. and go out front. And the security guard standing there goes, "Oh, sir, I'm so sorry. Did I wake you?" And he's like, "No, that's all right. Is everything okay?" He goes, "Yeah, everything's fine." He goes, "Okay." So the next morning we wake up and I said, "I think that we should talk to the management about this situation. Why would a security guard be standing at our door at 5 a.m. jiggling our door? I am outraged." Okay.
For God's sakes.
Hey, it was scary. Okay. It was scary. So we're leaving to go to brunch because it's Sunday morning now. We're leaving to go to brunch. We open the door and we walk out and I go, "Oh God." And he goes, "What?" I go, "He was delivering the paper. It's in a mailbox right next to the front door." It wasn't a security guard. It was the paper delivery guy. And I'm like, we were 20 feet away from causing a scene at the front desk to say, "What's the situation with the security? Why are they jiggling doors?" And it wasn't. It was this huge aluminum rustic mailbox that contains the paper. And I said, "Do you think there's any more paper in there? Like, have they been doing this every day?" "No, it's a Sunday accommodation. They deliver you the full fat Sunday San Francisco Chronicle."
Oh my God.
That's what we heard. That's what we heard. And I'm like, well, I'm really glad that I did not make you march over there at 5:30 in the morning to demand what was going on in this place. Oh my God. I'm like, that's what I get.
Really? You're going to complain about, a potential lock jiggle, but the frogs are okay.
I know.
Jeez.
I know. I feel like a schmo. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad that I saw that because we would have looked like fools, even worse than I felt then.
And they probably would have yelled at the security guard and been like, "Were you jiggling the lock?"
He'd be like, "I don't even know what you're talking about. Sage 1 said that you jiggled their door at 5 a.m. He's like, "I wasn't even near there. I was at Pomegranate. I don't even know what to say, God, we would have gotten someone in trouble. And then they would have been like, "Well, the customer's always right. They paid $1,500 a night to be here."
Jeez.
It was just awful. I felt like an idiot. But on the side note, this resort that we stayed at, we got up and started wandering around the property just to see what was all about. There's a lot of very wealthy people and all the women wearing very, very white button-up shirts, Ralph Lauren with their, very fancy watches and walking around elegantly, and there was a lot of men in polos and very clearly upper echelon, like, I don't even know how to explain it. Very elite behavior, no casual, like, "Hey, how's it going?" kind of people. They were all very like, "Good morning, good evening." I mean, that's the kind of clientele. And I said, "We don't fit in here." Okay, I don't fit in here. I am not that upper crust, apparently. And he said, "Oh," he goes, you're good having money." He goes, "But you're Annie from Overboard." He goes, "Because you're going to be in the kitchen having shots with the chef. You're not going to be in the front lounge smoking, being called Diddums." It's like you're good having money. You just don't want to play the game. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. That's who I am. I'm Annie from Overboard. I'm not Joanna Staten. Andrew. Yeah. I'm the one in the back with the more relaxed hairdo. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. You're absolutely correct. We made friends with all of our servers. Like, one of our servers gave Daryl his business card. He's like, "Hey, I pour at this winery. Come see me." I mean, and they asked if we were locals. Like, "Do you guys live here?" And it was super great. But so all the wait staff loved us, but the other people that were there were just looking down on us, always judging. And I'm like, I can't do the Real Housewives of New York, or I would never be a good Real Housewife, like ever. It would be awful. Like, I don't even want to know you people. You're
seen
terrible.
The Real Housewives. They don't look anything like those people sitting there.
Well, that's true.
But those girls are a mess.
They are kind of hot messes, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're really, and they do not know how to hold their liquor. That's for sure.
I'm just saying, the Real Housewives, I don't think they could hold it there either.
Yeah, they'd probably be a hot mess there, and I would be made to look normal. But anyway, it was fun, and all in all, we had an amazing time. But like I said, when you put yourself in a bubble, nothing really matters. So it was great. Super fun, and luckily I did not get anyone fired, which was almost happened.
Good.
Thank Lord.
Well, at least did you get the newspaper?
Yes.
Good.
Yes, we did. And I even told Daryl that I'm like, oh, Paula would love this. She'd just be sitting outside in this little bench reading this paper for 4 hours.
I would. I'm all,
great.
God, I'm like, all the ads?
Yeah. All kinds of fun stuff.
That'd be amazing.
So anyway, that, and I made Daryl go out in a robe.
Well, you definitely win, obviously.
I know. Okay. But I think that's it. I don't think I have anything else to share with you.
No, I think that's it as well. So thank you, everybody, for joining us this week. Thank you for your downloads and your purchases on our various Amazon and Avon websites. We always appreciate the patronage.
Yes,
and,
it's been a good week.
Look forward to us next Sunday, because I think we should be back as usual for episode 223.
Yes.
Other than that, have a fabulous week, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
That's a wrap. But make sure to watch your podcast feed for all the screw-ups and edits from this episode and what we call Ugly Cuts. And then we'll have a brand new full episode for you next week. Thanks for listening and sharing the show. See you next time on The Ugly Truth.